Right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the session. Could somebody please confirm to me you can hear me and you can see my screen well? Brilliant, thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, all of you, to confirm that you can see my screen and hear me well. Now, this week, again, we will have a lot of opportunities. I really hope last week you have actually gained a lot of opportunities that we have given you. And the market was actually quite generous last week. I do understand many of the retail traders last week has lost a lot of money. Not our traders, the traders in general I'm talking about. I'll share some details with you shortly. I'll share with you some few things that I have seen last week. And I want you all to understand one thing, please. Because remember, this trading is a lonely business. If you want to lose money, go ahead, keep losing money without actually knowing anything and time. But if you really want to make money in this business, you need to be with the right people. And I'll show you some examples of the right people, what sort of community that you should be with in order to make consistent money. Okay. This was just last week. As you can see, 2nd of July, one of our traders, Yogesh, has actually passed this funded challenge. And again, these are not the first time they are passing. It's number of times they have passed in the past as well. But this time they keep on adding on to these, certificates. Again, our senior, one of our seniors, Vanish, has been chosen as one of the best traders on one of the platforms. And they have actually interviewed him and give him sort of a limelight to actually talk about how he's been actually consistently making money. Again, all of this is not small things. You need to be with the like-minded and right community in order to get there. Okay, because these sort of people, they will push you to be with to be a winner. When you're down, you would need people like these, and this sort of community where they will push you up. Because remember, everyone now here and there will be having these sort of ups and downs, especially when you're trading. Since it's a lonely business, you need to be with these sort of people. And that's why please stop losing money. Please stop actually guessing working. Please stop wasting your time and be with the right-minded people. Okay. And again, this is why I'm showing it to you, because when I saw the last week's data, I was shocked actually. One of the traders brokers in Dubai, I've actually just reviewed the data last week. Actually, two traders, two brokers. Both of them were actually showing last week 82% on average, 82% of retail traders on their platforms was selling gold. And we were buying gold last week because I did say that to you. This is the week where you're going to see some pushes to the upside for gold and silver. Why? Because we have a seasonality in place. Why? We have a geopolitical factors, impacting the bullishness of gold. Thirdly, the most important thing is structures are telling us that they should be going to the upside. And what happened? You can see what market has done. And again, this is not something small that I'm just mentioning. Again, if you want to keep losing money, go ahead. You keep losing money. Because remember, this business, you might be lucky once, you might be lucky twice. You cannot be lucky all the time. You need a consistency in order to rely on this income. Okay. And the only way to do that is by actually joining the right people. And that's what you should do. The reason why I'm forcing you this week, because I felt really sad when I saw that data from these brokers, especially just in Dubai. I'm not talking about all over the world. I'm just talking about Dubai. That two brokers just from Dubai had 82% of retail traders selling gold. Every time gold was actually making a new high, they were selling more. That's not how it's supposed to be. Again, that's why I'm saying I don't want any of our traders to be among those traders who were actually doing this selling, when you actually have a structure telling you you need to just buy it. And again, you can clearly see that we gave you a buy signal last week for all the commodities, and they have been pushing up. And again, once I go to the charts, I'll explain that to you more, what is coming next. But please do not give that back to the market without actually learning, because that's not fair. One, for yourself, because you're wasting your time. Secondly, for your families that you're actually, they are relying on you, to make some income for you, for them. So please make sure you learn this thing before you get into it. Otherwise, you'll actually end up losing all of your, lifetime saving in this one. Yeah, that's why choose wisely. It might sound like, I'm actually trying to force you to actually join us, but if you want to think it this way, and if you can actually save your money, why not? I'd rather actually have you save your money and your capital than actually losing it in the market, thinking that you know everything. When you actually know, again, you need a community for this sort of consistency. You cannot just get it without having a community, without having people who can force you to be successful like them. It's the influence that matters, not only just in trading, in every part of life, but in trading specifically. You need a community which actually show you that they have the power to take you to the level where you can make consistent money from the trading. Okay, so please make sure you do that. Now let's head back to what we have said last week about trades of the week and what market has done. Again, last week we had a lot of volatility in the market, whether it's Aussie pairs news, whether it's interest rate, whether it's election from the GBP, or whether it's NFP last week. Okay, we have seen a lot of volatility, and still I did mention that to you. Please stick to the trades that I gave it to you, and I actually emphasized on that on Wednesday. So actually you don't just go around and keep looking for something else. That's why it is critical that you be with the with us for every part of the way, so you get the updates, you get the daily sessions, and also when you are actually in drawdown or when you are taking wrong decisions, people like our seniors, our moderators, our members can tell you where you're going wrong. Okay, please think about this one, because again, I have nothing to lose when I'm actually showing you these charts. What I'm telling you is, because when I saw the data last week, it made me sad that a lot of people are actually losing money, and when I saw that the brokers are actually trading against them, it is actually much more frustrating when you can see clearly the structures are actually performing how we expected market to do. Okay, again, I'm not saying that we are going to be 100% right all the time, but at least you will stop losing money, at least until you learn how to trade properly. Okay, please make sure you listen to this one, what I've just mentioned, and think about it. Your time is the most critical part. You can get the money back, you can get everything else back. The time that you're losing to actually just keep guessing, that is never going to come back. Okay, right. Now let's get back to what we have said last week, what market has done. Pound dollar was one of the trades. Even though I said that to you, it will be a very critical week because we have an election in United Kingdom. Still, we were bullish on pound. And I did mention that on Wednesday as well. I am still bullish on pound because I was expecting some stability to come because of the sweep from one of the, the government, the Labour government. That would be, there was speculation, strong speculation that they will actually join the parliament and then join the government as well. And that's exactly what happened. And you're going to see that GBP will start to show you some strength soon because of the stability, political stability, that would be coming temporarily in the country. Okay. Again, that's what we said. We said every time market comes into this box, we are heading for a push to the upside. Again, regardless of the election results, we were expecting market to tap at least 27 level in this week. What market has done, every time it was going to this box, it was giving you a reaction. Every time it was coming to this box, it was giving you a reaction. Remember, these are not magical boxes. They are all based on research, analytics, and also all the pestle factors that we are actually teaching you during our courses. Okay, because that all matters to the pip. You see that once I go to the chart, you see this box and this box. Let's have a look at what market has actually given us when they went to these boxes. That's the boxes. Okay, every time market was coming to this box, it was giving you reaction. Every time it was coming to this box, it was giving you reaction. Again, from this box, market kept pushing to the upside. It came to this box here, and in the small time frame, you must have got a corrective structure here for the push to the upside further. I did say that on Wednesday, it has some more upside, minimum to break this top here. Then we will see what market has for us. Market kept pushing to the upside, and you'd see where we are actually heading at the moment. We are actually at 1.28 level. Shortly, once I go to the charts, I'll explain you more what structure we are looking at and where it's heading now. The second one, the two trades that we have given was one, gold to the upside after pullback, and the silver to the upside again from this box. Every time market will come to this box, you're going to get a push to the upside, where again from this level to this level, if you have just traded silver last week, you must have made money. And on Wednesday, I actually came back and then I said that to you guys, this is going to break this top, not only just this box, this top here, 31 and above. And look what market has done for, for last week. This was your gold. Market gave you a corrective structure, pushed to the upside to this zone here. Again, market has pushed up to clear everything and then came back down to the consolidation. This consolidation, again, that's why I gave you this arrow here. If you can see, this arrow was where you have a potential to go to the upside. What market did was a consolidation, again, back to this box here and then push back up again. Okay. Similarly for the silver as well. Every time market was coming to this box, it was pushing up. Again, it was pushing up. Again, it was pushing up. To where, again, at this point in time on Wednesday, I said to you, it's heading to break this top here. Even if that time you have actually taken some, some sort of trades, you must have made money. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to tell you here, that everything that we are telling you here, based on the research, based on the knowledge, based on the education, because we have spent a lot of years on this one, we don't want you to go through all this hassle. It's there for you. All what you need to do is be determined, hardworking, and learn it from us. That's all. Nothing more than that. Okay? And if you do that, you will become like them. And that's where you might be interviewed, next time by one of these big brokers. Okay? That's where you want to be. Now, what else do we have for this week? Let's have a look. Before I head back to there, any questions so far? Before I actually start this week's session, again, we will be doing some sort of slight changes on the YouTube this week, but you will see that shortly once we actually, post these ones on YouTube. But any questions so far on what I've just discussed? Anybody has got anything that they are not sure about and they're actually struggling with, please do let us know. Because again, these sessions are for you. We want you to make money. And that's why I'm actually being, like I said to you, when I saw that data last Friday, and I was extremely sad that so many people have actually lost money in those brokerages, who were selling gold last week. Okay. And please do not be a victim of that, because the only way you can actually get out of that zone is by being with a like-minded and a great community of successful traders. Okay. Perfect. Now, good day, Francisco. Good day, Mohammed. Good day, Javed. Good day, Desmond. Steve, thank you for confirming the screen. Riyadh, good afternoon. Professor, I trust you're well, and Alan is in good health. He's getting better. He's recovering very soon. He'll be back. Sound and screen all okay. Thank you, Senek. Thanks, Francisco. Thanks, Kuk, Riyadh, Christopher. Right, Abdul, pound yen long picture, please. We'll touch base on that. High T this Monday is 2 USD CPI year-on-year news. Which one will have an impact? Shortly, Krishna, we can touch base on that. Darko, that's exactly what most brokers doing when they have 82% on sell side. They manage their risk, not putting their trades in a system, but rather liquidity that traders provide. They're going opposite, so still work in 90. That's correct, Darko. That is exactly what's been happening. And again, by you being, with the people who knows how market works, you actually come out of that zone of those traders, okay? Because then you don't think like them. You think like what the structure is telling you. I don't care. I don't have any sort of affection with any of the pairs. If I am in any of the trades and I don't like it, I don't have that feeling that this is not going. My gut is telling, my hunch is telling me it's not going. I get out, even though if later on it goes in that direction, because this is what you need to be doing. Once you are having a knowledge, your knowledge will help you become actually that successful. Okay. I believe that you mentioned for a drop on the GBPUSD. Are we still expecting a drop? Francisco, what the drop that you're expecting here will be coming, but again, shortly I'll explain that to you. That drop was not from the GBP. It was after the push to the upside, but that push to the upside has actually pushed up further because of the majority that they have got in the Labour Party. What do you think will be the great zone to invest in BTC? We'll touch base on that as well, Krishna. Thanks, T. WTW doesn't recommend Wave 5 to be traded. What's your take on the buying this last leg, please? Thanks. Yes, Isham, we can touch base on that shortly. I'm another one of them who have lost money too. Regrets. Can I suggest that we have a WhatsApp group or Telegram that we can communicate both ways immediately whenever required? Most platforms do it. Iftika, we don't do that here, because remember one thing, if we start to do that, that will become a signal service. We do not do that here. We want you to become independent. That's why we have daily sessions. That's why we have weekly sessions and monthly sessions as well. Because remember, tomorrow, if let's say we stop giving these sessions, you will be lost. And that's what we don't want to do. We want to make sure you become independent first. And then if you have any issues, then we are always here for you. But again, like I've given you the NFP update, we always keep updating you. All what you need to do is just keep joining the daily sessions, and then everything will be actually comes into place. Okay. I always choose trade when the market touches. Okay, this way I make small take profit, which is good as a trader. If this works for you, then it's perfect. Again, all what you need to do is stick to what's working for you. Okay. Could you go into the detail in explaining the structure of the DXY and all the possibilities that can be obtained? Indeed, we can touch base on that. You said about bullish BTC in July. Is it still valid? It is indeed valid. You're going to see that today. What's changing will be, again, it has just taken the liquidity and then now it's going to push up. Once I go there, I'll explain that to you further. Why did the Hang Seng drop? Do you still think it is going to 18.5? Indeed, it will be going to the 18.5. You'll see that. Long-term goal plays is heading towards 2,500. We can see shortly. Well, I cannot join the daily sessions because of my package. If that is the case, that's where you need to actually be coming back into making some money, and then you can actually invest on yourself. And that is what I'm talking about. Like, if you cannot invest on yourself, then it's a waste of time. Okay? Because remember, in the trading, if you're thinking that, anybody who thinks like this is going to be a quick rich scheme, it's not. It takes time. You need to invest on yourself first. It's like a degree you're getting. After the degree, you're getting experience, and then you're getting the money back by getting a job. That is pretty much the same thing here. Okay. But that's why you need to invest on yourself to get the experience, and then the money will start to flow in. Hi, T. I'm very happy to be in the WTW membership. Just wanted to appreciate the good job. Fantastic, Charles. Thank you very much. Any more about what, but give us signals, please. We cannot do that, I'm afraid, Asif. If you're here for the signals, this is not something that we do here in these sessions or in our, WTW community. Okay. We teach you how you can become a successful trader by making your own signals rather than me giving you everything on the plate and you just going and trading that. That's an easy part. Even a toddler can do that. Okay. The real part is you making that signals for yourself by basing it on your knowledge that we will give it to you. Okay. So think it this way. We are trying to make you actually stand on your feet rather than you actually, depending on us. Okay. Right. Let's keep the rest of the questions later and see what we have for this week. Again, today we will be expecting a French parliamentary elections. We will be seeing some sort of bullishness in the euro because of that. As you have seen that, we might actually see if the existing government will not win, we are going to see some bullishness, even though usually what happens is, when the existing government stays, you see some sort of bullishness in the economy, in the currency. But in this case, because, Macron has actually taken this sort of a risk by calling early election, that's why you'd see that the party is actually losing momentum into the winning seats. And last week's, session, we have seen that they are actually losing, massively. Compared to, the right-wing party at the moment. So again, seems like we will have a change of government. We have seen the change of government in the UK last week as well. We have seen a majority, a sweep from the Labour Party. And that's why, you have seen some bullishness captured into the GBP. because it's not a small victory, it's a historic victory. And when you have something like that, a government gets the mandate which they can actually use strongly to make changes in their policies, whether it's a foreign policy, whether it's an internal policy, doesn't matter. But you're going to see that, GBP is going to get some sort of a strength because of the political stability, having the government a lot of power and control. Monday, we will be expecting some sort of a flat day. You can't expect much of a volatility. Most of the pairs will be giving you a pullback, compared to the last Friday. Tuesday, we will be expecting Fed Chair Powell testifying. Again, we might be seeing some sort of small bullishness in the dollar before we see some more weakness coming up. Then on Wednesday, we will have New Zealand interest rate. Again, they're expecting to, keep the interest rate as it is. If that will be the case, you're going to see some, I will be anyway, letting you know shortly in the charts what sort of structure you can expect. I'm expecting small, short-term weakness in this one before markets start to push right back up. In terms of the bigger picture, the bigger structure is pretty much ready for upside for the New Zealand, but we need to see some more, short-term correction before market take the momentum to the upside. Thursday, we have GDP month on month from the GBP side. Again, they're expecting it slightly better forecast. If that would be the case, you're expecting some bullishness into the GBP. But prior to that, you might see some sort of a pullback into the zone that I'll show you shortly. Then we will be expecting the core CPI month on month and year on year, and unemployment claims as well. As you can see, last week, we have seen NFP unemployment rate has gone up. But even though we had more jobs added to the economy, so that's why the movement that you have seen in the dollar, that was a bit, upside and then downside. So there's pretty much no impact whatsoever. Okay, but you are going to see the structure once I show you the structure shortly. That's the structure we will look at before we start to sell again once more. Now, if market wants to drop with this CPI, then we will need to see some bullishness prior to that. Okay. Then on Friday, we will be expecting the core PPI month on month, and both of these numbers, they do look like they are staying positive, and that positivity could be giving some bullishness to the dollar. Again, you will have my update on Wednesday prior to these two news, so you'll have pretty decent idea what to expect from the market and what direction to trade for the rest of the week. Okay, so that's pretty much again what we are expecting. This week's main forecasts, towards the bullishness and the bearishness would be, because we have seen UK change of government, and again, simple majority for one party. This will give some stability to the GBP. French election this week as well, we will be expecting some results, and that results could give some sort of bullishness in the euro as well, temporarily. Okay, and that's what we will be expecting from the geopolitics. Now, let's see again, as I've mentioned, we are expecting New Zealand interest rate, we are expecting GDP from the UK, and we are expecting CPI from the dollar. These three news, I'm expecting some volatility to kick in the market for these particular currencies. Now, let's head back to the charts and see what we have for this week. Those of you who have been sending the messages, please hang on to this one. Again, I'm not going to ignore that. I will come back to your questions as soon as I'm done with these lists. But hang on to your messages. DXY. Now, DXY, as you remember last week, we were expecting market to give us this, either go to the upside as a corrective structure and then push to the downside. Let me just change the color so you can actually see it here. Yeah, so we were expecting either a corrective structure or an impulse to the upside, taking the liquidity above these two tops and then break to the downside. As I've mentioned to you last week on Sunday, in all the cases, it does not need to break the top at this instant, but it will be breaking the top later on. And that's what market has done. Instead of actually going to the upside to take the liquidity at this point, they started to give you a corrective structure here and then push right back down here. With the NFP, we were expecting market to push to the upside here and then break to the downside. The push to the upside is not that strong. As I've mentioned, we have seen unemployment rate going to the upside. At the same time, more jobs added to the economy. So these two canceled each other. That's why market didn't do any effect whatsoever. What we are expecting next, early part of the week, we can expect market to start going to the upside here slowly. If they do that, then we'll be looking for one more break to the downside towards 104.5 zone here. From this zone here, I will be looking for my buy setups because I will be expecting market to give me this sort of a structure for a push to the upside. Now, because July is the month where you have a seasonality not in the favor of dollar being bullish, that's why you would expect market to slightly be messier by doing something like this. They might crawl slowly to the downside, push right back up, coming back down before it goes back up, making just a messy structure for the rest of the July here, okay? And then from next month onwards, it will pick up the momentum for a push to the upside, okay? That's what we will be expecting for DXY. Now, remember, this is a corrective structure we are expecting dollar to make, which is what market is making at the moment for the month of July. From the month of August, we will be actively looking for a push to the upside in the dollar pairs, and majors will be starting to crumble to the downside. Now, can you trade this for the rest of this month the way I've just explained it? Absolutely, you can. How would you like to trade this one? Again, if you are looking for a short-term trades, every time market is going to go to the downside, you can look for a short-term push to the upside. Again, don't hold it for long-term until and unless market comes in this zone here, okay? Because every time it's going to go back up here, it's going to come right back down before it goes back up. So that's why, for me, I'm waiting on this one for this week, at least early part, for me to look for this push to the upside so I can trade this to the downside before it goes back up, okay? This could be a potential structure in the middle. Euro dollar was also expected to go to the upside again last week. We expected market to go to the upside, take the top here. It was expected to come back down, either breaking the top or coming back down from here, then push right back up. But in all the cases, I was expecting market to give me some sort of a messy structure anyway. Above this top here, it started to do this messy structure. This break to the downside will be coming this week. Once market has done that, do not think this is coming back down all the way to break this bottom here. It's not ready yet for that. We need to see some more bullishness. Once market has taken this top here after coming back down, then we can expect market to start giving us some reaction from this zone here for us sells. Until market tap this zone here, no more sells for us. Every time it's going to come back down here, it's a short term. If you want to scalp it, you go for it. But if you hold it on, for a longer, it's not going to keep on giving you profit. It probably would take you out, okay? So don't fall victim for this one. All what you need to do is wait for the corrective structure here or impulse to the downside to complete this corrective structure before market goes to the upside. You can trade this to the upside. Again, don't hold it for long term in this week, especially the majors. Stick to the trades of the week that I will give it to you shortly after the session and post it on your dashboard, because that's the trade that I'm expecting them to actually give you profit in this week. For the majors, if you want to trade it, it has to be short term this week, okay? Pound dollar was our trade of the week, as I've just shown you earlier. We were expecting market to go to the upside from this zone. Every time it comes to this zone here, it was expected to push right back up. Now, remember, from this zone here, I'm expecting market to give me a pullback. That pullback from 28 zone is expected. Remember, we had a strong potential last week for the pound. So what we are expecting is something like this, either a running flat or an expanding flat here, and then push right back up to test this top once more. Okay, this is going to be a corrective structure that we were expecting market to do. On the bigger picture, you would see that this is what market has been making. And all what we need to do is wait for this so we can go right ahead to take this top and eventually this top as well. So that's why this pullback here will be your chance to get back in. Those who have been in the sells or who are looking for a sells, for me, it's not ready and I wouldn't be selling this one at all. If you want to sell it, you have to be extremely careful. As soon as market gives you profit, you take some partials, you move your stops to break even. For me, this needs to give me one more pullback here. That pullback might actually be a, not a great one, if you know what I mean, something similar like this one here. It might cool down, push right back up, take the top, and then come back down before it goes back up, okay? But it will be expected, the pullback here in this week, at least early part of this week, and then push right back up, okay? Somewhere in this zone here, 27.5, somewhere here, see the reaction, what market does in this zone here. If market crawls slowly to this zone, then that has a potential to test this top once more. Aussie dollar was expected to test these tops here. Market has done that last week. Again, those of you who have been buying this one, now is the time to take some partials. This week, we are going to expect market to give us something like this here before markets start to go to the upside here. Now, remember, this drop to the downside might be a bit sharper, then it can go right back up, testing probably 90% of the retracement before market comes right back down before it goes back up. So in this week, if you're trading, Aussie dollar, you have to wait for this corrective structure before it goes back up. As I've mentioned, all the majors in this week has to be short-term trades if you're trading them, okay? New Zealand dollar also, again, as I've mentioned last week, it needed to go and test this bottom before market was expected to go to the upside and then test this bottom. They decided to go and test this bottom before it started to go to the upside. Now it's heading towards upside again, 615 from this zone here. I need to see market either give me a corrective structure or an impulse to the downside before it goes back up. In both the cases, this is going to be the level where market talks to us. Again, if it breaks down, it will be a last break to the downside. So make sure once market actually comes to it, this zone here, you do not miss the buy, because that buy to the upside might actually be taking us at least for the next few months, okay? Dollar yen has gone to the upside and kept pushing to the upside. This is, starting the corrective structure now. This corrective structure might end up being something like this one here, minimum. So again, pull back here for a break to the downside is what I'm expecting in this pair, at least in almost all the yen alternatives, before market goes right back up to test 163, 163.5. But I need this one to actually give me slightly something bigger here. As I've been telling you about this one, that this has the potential for something like this. And if market gives you corrective structure here, one more break to the downside will be a likely scenario. Remember, market does not need to break this bottom here. It just needs to test this bottom here, okay, in order to complete the structure. So keep an eye on this one. If you have this corrective structure, you can, test this bottom once more. Dollar CAD has still one more drop coming. Again, let the market gives you this corrective structure early part of this week. See what market does in this zone here, 36.7 and above. Above this, if you get a sell setup, might not be a bad idea to look for one more drop. It's going to test this bottom here. Once market has done that, then you can start to look for your buy setups for long term, okay? But for now, it's a corrective structure that I'm expecting for a one more break to the downside. Now, that was the majors. After the majors, we'll be going for all the Forex, other Forex pairs. Again, I've added almost all the other Forex pairs for you, whether it's majors, minors, exotic, all of these pairs are actually included in this one now. After that, we'll go for the commodities, indices, cryptos, and some stocks as well. So let's have a look at other Forex pairs.